Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 6, 2025. How you guys doing this morning? Oh, I can't believe all these bushes are back. Bushes, weeds, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you and you and you and you. I hope you all had a great day on yesterday. Wishing you a great day on today. It is Wednesday, hump day. We got 2 more to go. 3 down. As of today, 3 down, 2 more to go. It seems like it's been a long week already, in my opinion. But it is another day to give God honor, glory, and praise for waking you up this morning in your right mind with the activities of your limbs. You didn't need nobody to do anything for you that you could not do for yourself. And that is a blessing. Amen, somebody. Amen. We're going to talk about a few things today that I do want to talk about, that I do want to touch upon. And my first thing that I want to talk about is healing. And I'm not talking about just your physical, but I'm talking about your mental, your spiritual. It was so interesting because Brenda, who was one of my YouTube subscribers, she had made a comment on my video saying to me that she was surprised that I did not mention my ex-friend. If he had been at this past party that my girlfriend had on Saturday, he was invited from what I understand. And so she asked me, and she said, I'm not trying to be nosy. And I'm like, no, because I've talked about him and the situation over here numerous times. And so I didn't find her question to be nosy. She was curious. And I didn't mention it because I forgot. I actually forgot to mention it. And here's why I forgot. Because I don't think about him like that no more. You know what I mean? I don't think about him like that no more. I will admit that I would think about him a lot when we first stopped talking. Now, you have to remember, if you're new here, or if you just catching up to the story regarding this person and I went to high school together. We were good friends in high school. My best girlfriend in high school was in love with him, okay? And you know how it is when you have a friend who has a crush on a guy or a boy or whatever. You tend to have that same crush. So I always thought he was really, really cute, even in high school. And we would, just giving you all a little update for those of you that maybe don't know the background story. We would mess with him in high school. And we would jump out of corners on him, scare him, knock his books out of his hand, or whatever. We always was bothering him. He hated to see us coming. But he never was mean, and he never was mean to us. He always laughed or whatever. I don't think he liked either one of us, although he said he did like me. He said, but it probably would have been a fight, between you and your friend. But she is the one who introduced me to him. For 4 years of high school, never had a class with him. And he always talked funny to me. When I say funny, he had a funny way of speaking, But nevertheless, we were friends. We were good friends. And then moving forward, after graduating from high school, didn't see him at all. Didn't see him. We had no interaction, nothing. I didn't know where he was or what happened to him, and he was kind of, out of sight, out of mind, He didn't come to the 10-year reunion. He didn't come to the 15 or the 20th. And so, I didn't see him. So I did not see him again until we were about to turn 40 years of age. That's how long the time span had been. And I saw him at a party, and he walked up to me, and I was like, OMG. Because, again, had not seen him since high school. Nobody ever said where he was, what he was doing, what happened to him, nothing, okay? He wasn't a popular boy in high school, and neither was I a popular girl, but people knew of him, you know. So at the time, I was seeing his friend, one of his good friends, which I didn't even know that they were good friends like that. Well, that was in our, like I said, towards our 40s. Well, his friend turned out to be an asshole. Pretty much dumped me without any reason. And then I found out later that it was because of this guy, because I was supposedly digging on him while I was with the friend. But then I come to find out my best girlfriend, who was my best friend, she went back and told the guy that I was kicking it with, that I had said something about this guy. And I did say that to her, but that was girl talk. That's girl stuff. You know, what I said was, man, he is fine, which he is or was. And I said, man, I would love to get with that. And at the time, he was in a relationship with someone. And she was there at the party. And it was my best girlfriend who I just went to her party last Saturday. It was her 40th. And another classmate, they had to come by and party. So that's where I saw him. And like, as I said, it had been since high school. But he remembered me. He walked up to me. And we hugged, and he was like, man, I ain't seen you in blah, 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 blah. So all the feelings came back from high school of me having this crush. I never told him I had a crush. I never told my best girlfriend I had a crush on him, because she had a crush on him, right? And I mean, not only did she have a crush, she was in love. That's all she talked about was him. So, you know, I thought he was fine too in high school. He was, and he still is. He's a good looking guy. He is fine. Okay. He's aging very well, I must say, but he's an asshole. But so my best friend at the time at this 40th birthday party, she went and told his friend what I said about him. So next thing I know, this dude who I was kicking it with, messing around with, he dumps me. I don't know why. And then I come to find out through the best friend, this bitch was always a snake. That he told her that supposedly I was trying to give this guy that I ended up talking to, that I was trying to give him some. And I wasn't. I just made the comment that I made. But the best friend, she was fucking around with a classmate, and she was married. So you over here telling this dude my shit, but you fucking around with one of our classmates, and you are married. And I never told her business. I never told nobody in our class, because we were kicking it around 40ish, around that age. You know, we were partying a lot. And at that time, Chris was like 2, 3, because I had him at 38, so he was like 2. So, because that was like in 2010. Chris was born in 2008. So I got on Facebook in 2009, and that's when I started to connect with all my classmates, you know. And so, you over here telling my dude who I'm kicking it with, you over here telling him that I'm talking about his friend, but bitch, you was married and you was fucking around with one of our classmates. And that's the only reason why she friended me in the first place, because I was making posts about dude, the other one was making posts about him and talking about how he was treating me. She thought I was talking about the guy she was fucking with. And that's the only reason why she friended me, because she thought that I was talking about her dude that she was messing around with. And like I said, she was married. And she fucked around with this guy for a long time while she was married. Even used me so she could slip out and go fuck around with this guy. But I never told her business. You don't do that. But she steady she had the knife in my back long before I even found out that the bitch wasn't a friend. Okay? And I was clueless. Because I was like, how does he know? How did he know? Or why is this the ex-friend now? Why you dumping me because of this? You know, never asked me was it true? So what my ex-best friend did, she tried to act like the guy that I saw at the party that was, you know, she said he went back and told him that I said that I was trying to, you know, get with him. Now, he did give me his number at the party when he saw me, when he walked up to me and hugged me and said he hadn't seen me since high school. He gave me his number. I put it in my phone, in my notes on my phone, and he said, you should call me sometime. Same bullshit he said to me in 2023 when I saw him at the all-class reunion. Same line, right? So I took his number. I never called him. And I truly was not trying to get with him because I knew he had a girlfriend, and I knew that he was good friends with the dude I was messing with. So all of a sudden, the dude that I'm messing with, he just drops me. I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? I don't know what's happening. I'm asking him, what are you mad about? Why are you? I mean, he stopped calling me. The next thing I know, he blocks me on Facebook. I didn't even know. I never even knew you could block somebody on Facebook until he blocked me. He blocked me on Facebook. So he made a post on Facebook before he blocked me, and I made a comment to it, and he deleted it. And I was like, the fuck? So I go into this guy who I currently was messing with. I go in his inbox and I ask him, hey, why did so-and-so delete my comment? This guy that I was messing around with now, he comes out of a whole bag on me. Well, Sherelle, you need to stop making comments. I don't even remember what he said, all that he said, but I know this, he was nasty as a fuck, his attitude. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, right? So I said, hey, what crawled up your ass? I said, I'm just playing with you. And I said, because we had become Facebook friends after I saw him at the party. We became Facebook friends. And I said, what's wrong with you? You know, like, I was so lost. But what I realized was that the guy that I was just messing with, he was angry because I was messing with his friend. It was almost like, how he get you? You know, y'all messing around with him. He was like, he was jealous, and so he just was mad. And so I'm thinking, they like the best of best friends, but not knowing the whole time they friends, but so anyway, I said all that to say that we stopped talking, and that was in 2013. 2012 was 2012. So from 2012 to 2023, we had no interaction. I would see him at the all-class alumni picnic. I didn't speak. I didn't say shit to him. So was it until 2023, and I'm telling you all this story because there's some people that are looking at these car chats that won't know what I'm talking about as I'm bringing it up to current day. Because some of you all know the story, you've heard the story, the same story. So in 2023, I see him at my class reunion picnic, and he's just sitting there staring at me. So I was like, what's up, you? Why are you staring at me like that? I was like, you gonna speak or what? Now, mind you, we hadn't said anything to each other. in almost 16 years. Okay? From 2012 to 2023. When you add it up. So he gets up, and same thing, comes over, hugs me. Hey, it's been years, we haven't talked, and we don't even speak to each other. I just want to make amends and tell you I'm sorry. And I really thought that he was sincere. I really, really did, because he was just saying how sorry he was, and I was wrong, and I inserted myself in something that had nothing to do with me. That was between you and so and so, and I should have stayed out of it, and blah, which he should have. And he remembered exactly what happened, because I remember exactly what happened as well. And I said, you just acted like you was pissed at me, and I really didn't understand why. I said, because I did nothing to you, and I did nothing to him for that matter. But I did not know that she was my best friend was the reason. But I do remember when I was messing with dude, he told me that she was a snake. I remember him saying she is messy as hell. He told me that. But because she was my friend, I was like, nah, I didn't listen to nothing that he said, because he was just as messy. Because, girl, he started writing all these posts on Facebook about me. And, baby, y'all know me, I gave it right back to that motherfucker. Right back. And so how I stopped him from writing things about me on Facebook, because all my classmates were friends with me and friends with him. So they would read, he kicked it off. Just to see how he was a sassy motherfucker. He kicked the bullshit off. Instead of coming to me, asking me, talking to me, and if he didn't even want to fuck with me no more, he could have just said, you know what? I don't want to do this with you no more. I got my reasons, but I don't want to do it no more, whatever. And when I tell you I was hurt because of the shit that he was writing about me, he's married now to another classmate, who I love and adore. I adore her. But it took me a minute to forgive him. And even after he realized what the truth was, he had to come to me and apologize to me. And he did ask me to forgive him, and I did. But it took a minute. And then he even tried to come back, pedal back, and, try to get with me again. I was like, motherfucker, not after all that shit you wrote about me on Facebook. I said, oh no, baby boy, you will never climb up in between my goodness again. I promise you won't. And I'm just being honest. He was never my type. And I'm just being transparent and honest. I hadn't had sex since I had got pregnant. I got pregnant in 2007. And from 2007 to 2010, I had not did anything. The whole 9 months that I was pregnant with Chris, I never had sex with nobody. So by the time I started talking to him, I was just thirsty for some dick. And I'm just telling the truth. And that's just the truth. It ain't no other way to say it. Because it wasn't like he was somebody that I wanted for my boyfriend. It wasn't like he was somebody that I wanted as my man. I was just excited to have sex again. That's it. That's all. And that's what it was. That's just what it was. It's no other way to dissect it or slice it or whatever. Y'all know I'm truthful and I'm honest and I'm transparent. But it wasn't because he was fat. It wasn't because he was, all of this rah rah. He wasn't. He was not even my type. In fact, he just wasn't my type. That's all I'm gonna say. He just was not my type. He wouldn't have been somebody that I would have chose to be my man. But it is what it is. And he acted like he liked me, and I liked him, and we was cool. And I think he was messing around with several other people as well. So, you know, it is what it was, what it was, and it is what it is, as they say. And that was that. So, having said that, all of that, you know, he tried to come back, and I was like, no. But in the midst of all of that, me and this guy, we weren't friends no more at all. And I really didn't understand what was going on or what was happening, because we were so tight in high school, me, my best friend, and him. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, I know it was high school, but what are you so angry about? It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all. Y'all, I will be back. I'm not gonna even park up in there. I'm gonna park right here. Let me go punch. I'll be back. Is back. So moving forward, you know, 2013, me and this other guy, you know, who I was close with in high school. Because the other guy, I don't even remember him from high school. But he went to high school with us, but, well, he graduated with me, but I don't remember him. But anyway, nevertheless, y'all, I need to run in here. Well, I'm gonna ask him, because he'll probably know. Hold on, y'all. I just don't want to be taking nobody's parking spot. But if he ain't here by this time, he probably ain't coming. Excuse me. So moving forward in 2023, when we had the class reunion, me and this guy, you know, we got together, you know. And it was a mistake. Really was a mistake. I don't regret dealing with him, but what I guess what I'm saying is that what should have happened was we should have just, hey, how are you?
All right, what about yourself?
Is he coming?
No, if he ain't here.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Now, if it was me.
Yeah, you know, you come whenever you want to come. You know, you don't know you got a job.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
It's just that alarm clock I be fighting.
That's the hardest part.
I know.
Getting up. Yes. Have a good day, sweetheart. So what should have happened was we should have just apologized and just said, hey, you know, we more mature now. Let's look past this. That's what should have happened. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. So the attraction from high school was still there. I never knew he was attracted to me, okay? He said he was. He said, I liked you. But I knew that your best friend was into me, and I didn't want to, you know, cause the rift. And I never picked up on that he liked me in high school. I knew how I felt. I knew I had a crush on him. But I had a crush on a lot of guys in high school. They was not looking at me. They were not checking for me at all. This is why after we graduated and we went to the 10-year reunion, and then after the 10-year reunion was 15, 20 or something like that, and then everybody started getting on Facebook. When I started coming out, because I didn't really think a lot of people remembered me, because when I tell you I was a square in high school, I was a square. I wasn't on anything in high school. I wasn't on a pom-pom team. I had a big butt at which, you know, it wasn't as big as it is now, but I had a big booty. I was little, but I had a big ass. But I was very, very, very self-conscious about the way that I looked, even in high school. I was very, very self-conscious about the way that I looked in high school. And so it was probably some boys that did like me, and I'm sure that there were, and there were, you know, there were some guys that liked me, you know. I had a couple of boyfriends in high school, but I was not having sex in high school. A lot of my classmates were pregnant, having babies. My father would have killed me. It's just that simple. You know, my father made it clear at the age of 12 when I got my period. I didn't even know what the hell my father was talking about. He was like, you know, when he found it, and I was so mad at my mother. Oh, baby. I said, I cannot believe you told him that I got my period. I was 12. On my 12th birthday, February 11th, on my 12th birthday, I got up that morning. I was in the 6th grade. Got up that morning to get ready, went to use the bathroom, wiped myself, got up, got ready to flush the toilet, and all I saw was red. And I had no symptoms. I had nothing that indicated that my cycle was even coming. No soreness in the breast, no cramping, no nothing. I never forget. My mother was on the phone with my grandmother. We called her mother. I'll never forget it. And I knew what it was because my sister had started hers. So I was aware of what it was because I remember my mother talking to my sister about it. And when she was talking to my sister about it and telling my sister about her cycle and her menstrual cycle, I think my sister was older than me when she came. I think she was like 13 or 14. But I was 12 because I was really developing at between 10 and 12. I was getting my shape was coming in. And because I know you all won't believe this, the doctor told my mother when I was a little girl that I was underweight. I wish somebody would tell me I'm underweight now. But anyway, with my fat ass. But anyway, now I can't lose weight. Now I can't. The word underweight don't even apply to me. Somebody got a gun inside of my body holding this shit on hostage for real, because it ain't moving. Even though, y'all, tomorrow I got my water. I got my water today. So I'll never forget, you know, I came out the bathroom. I know I'm skipping all around, but to tie this into this, to high school, I came out the bathroom. I went to my mother. I said, I started my period. And she was on the phone with my grandmother. She said, Mother, Sherelle got her period. And my grandmother was like, already? That baby too young. And my mother said, okay. She said, well, Mother, let me call you back. And she came and gave me a pad. And I said, what am I supposed to do with this? And she was like, this how you gotta put it in your panties. And, because we weren't wearing tampons, then. And I said, I be damned. She said, it's here. Baby girl, it's here. She said, ain't nothing we can do about it. It's here. She said, how you feel? I said, I feel fine. She said, you don't have no cramps? Your stomach don't hurt? You don't have no headache? No. And I didn't learn what PMS was until my oldest cousin one time was on her cycle, and she told me that she was PMSing. I had already had my period then, but I was like in my 3rd year of my menstrual cycle, and I was like, what is that? And so she started telling me, and she pulled this book out, my cousin, and she said, this is what PMS is. Here, go read that. I said, well, I don't have this. She said, you may not be experiencing it now, but you will. And she was like, you're going to be moody. You're going to be hot. Your breast's going to be sore. You're going to be crying. You're going to be craving stuff. You might, and she didn't tell me about the part about when you're on your cycle and you be horny. That came later. I learned that later. But my mother never talked to me about PMS. I learned that from an older cousin, my oldest cousin. She's the first grandchild on my father's side. She told me about that. And I experienced it later. Like, I never had it in high school. And until I got in my 20s that I really started to experience PMS. But anyway, my father came to me later on that afternoon and said, when he got him home, I understand you got you became a woman today. Who? I'm 12. I'm not no damn woman. I said, who? I said, I'm not. I know. He said, well, now that you became a woman, you can get pregnant. I said, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, you get pregnant, and I'm telling you right now, you better be careful, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he just totally off the wall, right? And I went to my mother and I was crying. I said, you told him? Why would you tell him something like that? Why would you tell him? Why? She's like, that's your father. I said, I don't care. He didn't need to know that. I said, he talking about, I'm a woman. I'm not no woman. I'm a girl. I'm 12 years old. I was upset. A woman. I was like, I don't want to be no woman. Not now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 12. And I was struggling with that because I was 12, because I thought girls didn't come on their period. Like I said, because I don't believe my sister got her cycle until she was like 13 or 14. So I thought I had time. Nope. Not me. Not me. So all of my friends in high school were having babies. At 15, 16, 17. And I was not having sex. I was not getting high. I was so square. So none of the boys in high school really, they liked me, but they knew I wasn't going. They knew I wasn't giving up nothing. Okay. And my best friend, she was the same way. We were Christian girls. We were in the church. I was a director of the youth choir. I was on the women's guild. I was doing church announcements. I was in the youth choir. Then I went to the adult choir. I was in church, So I was not having sex in high school. So I was not the popular girl. I had a cluster of friends, the best friend. I met her in my sophomore year. I had a cluster of friends that I hung out with that were like me, that were churchy, and me and my best friend, we weren't having sex, and so because we wasn't having sex, we wasn't, we wasn't popular, and I would go to school in my sophomore, junior year, and we would come back from the summer, and here they come, and when we graduated in 1988, so many girls walked across the stage pregnant. you know. But that wasn't my story, and my sister the same way. My sister wasn't having sex in high school. The first time I had sex, I was 17. So I was what? I was a junior. It was the summer. I was 17. We was going back to school in the fall. First time I did it was with this boy named Harry. It was the worst experience of my goddamn life. But it wasn't with nobody at the school. And to be honest, I regretted even doing something with him. I don't even know why I did it. I don't even know why. But he was my first. I never. That I'm gonna tell y'all about that another day. That's a whole story about him. Okay, I don't even know where he is now. But I said all of that to say that that wasn't who I was. That's not what I was doing, and nobody really liked me in high school. Okay, so I liked him. And I liked a lot of boys in high school, but they didn't like me because I was too much of a nerd. Now, you all know I got this big booming personality, and I had that in high school. I was still who I am. You know, my personality was developing to whatever it was going to be, but I wasn't sexually active. So nobody liked me like that, okay? They liked me, but they didn't. And they knew. And when they would be over in the park getting high or doing whatever, smoking their weed, I wasn't doing that. Some of the girls were in gangs. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't me. You know, because I didn't have peer pressure like some kids have peer pressure, because my pressure was at that address that I lived at. And my mother and father didn't play with you, and they made it clear that they will fuck you up on sight. And I believed it. And when my father told me that he was going to take me and drop me off in the projects if I got pregnant, I believed him. I was convinced. So wasn't opening up my legs to nobody. It was guys that was trying to get with me, trying to give it to me. But I remember Curtis Cotton saying, try me if you want to and see where you will be. And we took that ride down to them projects more than once. And I was like, shit, I ain't going. So I didn't have that kind of pressure that these kids have, you know, I did it because of hell to the no. And my mother was a substance abuse counselor, and she knew if I got high, she was going to know. And that was going to be my ass. So I didn't, them two people, Diane and Curtis, tag teaming your ass. Fuck you, friends. What y'all doing? I got to go home and deal with these two people that are crazy and have told me they will kill me if I do something. And I believe them. And I knew my mother and father loved me dearly and that they weren't going to kill me. But the fear the fear was enough to make me believe that what they said was going to happen. My mama did not play with your ass. My daddy did not play with your ass. They loved you. They gave you everything that you needed. They've spoiled us, all of that. But my mother and father let you know, I will kick your ass. Try me if you want to. And I believed it. Okay? So I didn't have no peer pressure. I don't know what everybody else's parents was saying or doing with them, but I know what mine was doing with me. And I believe Diane. And I believe Curtis. And that was enough for me. Okay, that was enough. So my mama never went up to the school and they was like, oh, Sherelle was out there doing this. And we saw Sherelle doing that. And Sherelle... My mama didn't play that bullshit about going up to school and a teacher telling her that you acted a fool. And that's how I am with Chris. I do a Diane on him all the time. Try me if you want to and see what's going to happen to you. So you got to put that in them. Let them know I will fuck you up. Try me. So we got that when we got that all the way from being 2 all the way up into 14. You can't start telling them you're going to fuck them up at 12. You got to fuck them up from the age 2. Let them know. You understand what I'm saying? So I said all of that to say this, that the crush that I had when I saw him in 2023 I always liked him, you know. And this is how this happened that should not have happened, because my crush, my feelings for him never really died. And I really, really always liked him. So now here we are, we adults. He not with the baby mom, the youngest girl mama no more. He had got married, he was divorced. So now we single, we free. All that other bullshit that went on with the other guy, all that's gone, because now he done moved on. He married to a classmate, like I said, a young lady who I adore. She's a real sweetheart. We friends. And she and I never let that bullshit come between us. Always spoke, hug. You know, now I see him, we hug, we talk, all is forgiven. We all and grew up, and we and matured, and we and moved on. So here I think we and did the same thing, me and this person, and we had. But what I forgot, was he was an asshole to me in 2012, and he was the same asshole in 2023 and in 2024. So when Brenda asked me in the YouTube video, was he at this party? He was not. I forgot to mention it to you all because I don't think about him like that anymore. And what I wanted to talk to you all about healing is that I feel like I'm finally healed from that. There are times that I do think about him, but I don't think about him. Okay, I don't think about him. You know, Nick Tech Nix and I had this conversation, and she said, I think you were, you know, I really feel like you were in love with him. And she said this to me a couple of times. I don't know if I was really in love. I will say this. I was in a place of like, and a place of maybe, you know, this would turn into something later on. I don't know. I wasn't looking for a relationship from him. I was looking for more for the friendship to rekindle. And the friendship did rekindle, but because of our deep attraction for each other, the physical aspect of it happened. I don't regret that part of it, but what I regret is that I should not have let him back in my life like that. We should have made up, hugged, and saw each other at events and said, hey, how you doing? Or maybe called each other every once in a while to say, hey, how you doing? Just checking up on you. How's life? Blah, blah, blah. But he never changed who he was from 2012 up until now. And what I discovered is that he's an asshole. He's still that same asshole that he was in 2012 when he inserted himself in something that he shouldn't have inserted himself in. And what I understand, or now understand, is that he never liked me. He never liked me. He didn't like me in 2012. He didn't like me in high school. He didn't like me when we became adults. He did not like me. Because you cannot treat somebody that you say you like the way he treated me. You just cannot. He wanted me physically because it was a fantasy of his. It was something that he said he wanted to even do in high school, but he knew I wasn't giving up nothing in high school, right? Then when he saw me in 2012, he wanted me again. I didn't bite the bullet then. So because I didn't bite then, it was like he was mad. So he treated me nasty and was mean to me. And then we had no conversation, no hello, no how you doing. Saw him all the time at all the class picnics. Never said a word to him. Then here we moved to 2023. And he that same asshole. He never changed. You know what I'm saying? He never changed. He never ever liked me. He never liked me. I don't care what he say. I don't care how whatever he come back or whatever he tells somebody else about me. This man never, ever liked me. He never liked me. He liked what my body was like. He liked what he was getting, but he never liked me. Now, my other girlfriend said, I don't believe that that's true because he bought you a beautiful gift for Christmas. I said, but I bought him something nice for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So that was in 2023. So I'm going to say this. And I've said this to you all so many times. And I'm going to keep saying it until y'all get it and until I get it. People that like you show up for you. You all know that in 2024, I bought my house. And in 2024, I had to pack up a 19-year living apartment. And in that time, I became an ambassador for Shein and for ASOS and for different brands. So I had a lot of stuff. I packed that whole apartment myself. He never offered to help me. When I asked him to help me, he told me no. When I asked him, could I even use, because he had a truck, could I use his truck to even put boxes in? He told me no. That his truck was too sexy for boxes. He didn't even offer to pay for the move. And the move was not even expensive. If I remember correctly, my total move was like $600 or $700. He blows that on frivolous stuff that I know about. He never even offered to pay for the move. Now, this man was coming to my apartment, climbing them 3 flights every weekend. I would see him every Friday, every Saturday, sometimes on Sunday. And we were getting it in. We would go out. We would have a good time. He was jumping up and down on my body. He was getting all the good that he could get. If I was going somewhere and I was getting me and Chris something to eat and I knew I was going to see him, I would call him or text him, hey, I'm going to get me and Chris something to eat. You want something? I can't tell you how many times I did that. I can't tell you how many times that he was in pain. From the type of job that he had. And I would say, hey, I bought you this, I bought you that, because I know you in pain. I treated him good. He did not show up for me when I needed him the most. And that was during that move. So, he didn't show up for me. He didn't offer to help me. And I understood in a way why he didn't want to help me pack, because the type of job that he had carpal tunnel, and he would always complain about his hands hurting. So I understood that. But what the fuck is wrong with your arms carrying some boxes down these steps? He didn't even have to carry the boxes down. Me and Chris would have carried them down and put them in the back of his truck. He didn't even offer to say, well, how much it's gonna cost for you to move? He didn't even offer to say, well, I can give you half. He didn't even offer to say, hey, I'm gonna be at Walmart or Home. He stayed in Home Depot. Home Depot got moving boxes. He didn't even offer to buy me a fucking box. He didn't even offer to buy me some goddamn tape. Nothing. So we had stopped talking right before I was to move. I asked him to put the license plate on my car, my new license plates. He ghosted me on that. I had a guy here at work put it on. So we started back talking. I expressed to him how he didn't show up for me. And I took him back. And this was like 3 times that we had stopped talking because of him. And because of how he was treating me. And so I said all of this to say that sometimes it takes a little while to heal from people or from situations, but you will heal. And you will heal and you not even know that you are healed. Because how you know you're healed is when you don't think about it, when you don't think about them or it, when it's not consuming you, when it's not the first thing on your mind when you wake up in the morning, when you're not looking or expecting anything. I wonder, is this going to turn around? Or I wonder, are they going to call? Or are they going to text? Or are they going to reach out to me? I am so healed that if I was standing in a room with him and it was just me and him, he doesn't exist anymore. If I was standing in a room with him and it was just me and him, it would be like I would be in that room by myself. I have nothing for him. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. And what I gave him was me. What I gave him was true friendship. What I gave him was caring and loving. Whether we were in love or not. He expressed that he did not want a relationship. And I was okay with that. Because I wasn't looking for that. But what I was looking for was the fact that we're friends and we're having intimate moments. And as much as you say you enjoy this intimate moment, as much as you say that this is so good, as much as you say how much you love it, and as much as you have said and expressed to me how you care so much for me and that there's nothing in the world that you wouldn't do for me, why couldn't you be there for me when I needed you? So when you couldn't be there for me when it was the move, or you couldn't be there for me for this or for that, I'm confused on how you say that you liked me. People that like you, I'm not talking about love. I'm just talking about like. People that like you want to show up for you. People that like you want to make sure you're okay. People that like you want to make sure that your world is good. People that like you want to make sure that you're not struggling. As that guy, as I told you about my friend sending me the money. I'm grateful for that because, I had to pay for Chris and our flight. And I wanted to pay for it on Uplift Vacation, but my brother-in-law went and put it on his credit card. If I had known that, I would have booked my own flight, and I would have did it that way, right? But people that like you, people that care about your heart, they take care of it. They take care of it. And so he didn't like me and he didn't love me. Neither one. He didn't like me and he didn't love me. He didn't care for me in that special way that he didn't care for me in that special way that a friend should care for you. He didn't make sure that I was good. He would come to my house empty-handed. He would come to my house. He never, ever called me and asked me, did I need anything? Never. Not one time. Not one time. I know what you coming over here for, and I know what we getting ready to do. But how do you as a man, a grown-ass man, step into a grown-ass woman's house empty-handed? I'm not saying you had to come every day or every time you saw me with something in your hand, but you coming in here to get something. You coming in here to get something, and you got your hands empty, and you ain't bringing nothing. I'm teaching Christopher that now. When you go to a woman's house, you know you're going in there to get something. If she coming to your house, you know she coming to give you something. So have something for her. Have something there for her. It don't have to be anything extravagant. But see, what I keep saying to men, and what men don't seem to understand, and what women don't seem to understand, what I keep saying this, it's not how much you do, it's what little that you do. Men say, I've heard grown men say, man, I ain't getting none. I ain't getting none because you don't know how to get it. You don't know how to get it. Women want to know that we are thought of. We want to know that you care. Men want to know that they're thought of by you being nurturing and caring. Men want to know that that they're being thought of by you doing something different than what you've done before. See, a relationship is not one-sided. It's two people that say they like each other and they care for each other, and they want to make sure that the other one is good all of the time. You first got to start by liking somebody before you get to I love you. I got to like you to even deal with you, to even want to be in your space and in your place. I got to like you. I can't just like the physical of you. I got to like all aspects of you. Because if I like all aspects of you, the physical is going to come. And I know men are different. I know for some men it's physical before it's the other aspects of the woman. I know that for men, it's always sex. It's always, man, I want to do her. Man, I want to fuck her. Man, I want to blah, blah, blah. Man, when she going to give me some pussy, blah, 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 blah. I get that. I get that. I understand that. Men are wired differently than we are as women. I understand all of that. But the reason why y'all can't get nothing because you don't bring nothing. The reason why you can't get nothing because you don't bring nothing. And because you don't bring nothing, you don't get nothing. If you know what this woman like, if you study her, if you looking at her from head to toe, if you say, hey, every time I see this woman, she always smelling good. Let me throw her down $100. Every time I see her hair is done. Every time I see her nails are done. Speaking of, got my nails done. Every time I see her, and my feet done, same color. Every time I see her nails are done. Every time I see her, her makeup is like, she got on the sundresses and got a sharp little purse. You can look at a woman and tell what she like without even asking her what she like. You can look at a man and tell what a man like just by looking at what he like. If you know that there's a man who go to the gun range, give him a gift card to the gun range. If you know there's a man that loves to smoke cigars, give him a gift card to Benny's or to someplace where he can buy cigars. If you know he's a man that he loves to golf, buy him a little golf gift. Buy him a shirt with his name on it for golf. You don't have to do a whole lot to show a person that you like them. So I don't understand how you keep showing up with nothing, but you keep getting something, but you ain't bringing nothing. If I tell you that I love roses, why you can't go to the local grocery store and buy me some roses for $10 or $20? If I tell you I like chocolate, why you can't go to the Dollar Tree and buy me a couple of bags of chocolate? If I tell you I love sunflower seeds, why you can't go to the dollar store and buy me five bags of David sunflower seeds? If I tell you I love sour pickles, why you can't go to the candy wholesale store and buy me a jar of sour dill pickles? Are y'all following me? But you come to this door and you ring this bell time and time and time and time and time again, and you ain't got nothing in your hand. But yet you coming to climb up in my goodness. You coming to climb up in what you say you love. You coming to climb up in what you say is ooh so good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. But you can't never bring me nothing. You can't never do nothing for me. You never ask me what I need. You know I got a house. Why don't you ask me, hey, anything in your house you need me to do? It's several things I need done right now. Right now. I gotta wait on my friend to come, who I ain't gave none to ever in life. He ain't did more for me than the man that I was giving my good to. And it's good. I ain't never been up inside of my vagina, but, according to what the dudes say, it's the best they ever had. Now, I don't know, hey, I don't know how to dissect that because I ain't a man. I don't have a penis. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't never been inside of a woman's vagina because I'm not gay. All I know is what I hear from men. That's all I know. It's what men tell me. Man, it's the best thing. It's the best thing, but yet y'all treat it as if you don't want it no more. Because I'm just going to say this. If something is good to me and I enjoy it, I'm going to make sure it's around. So I don't know. I'm just going by what he has said and other men that I've been with in my lifetime. My grandmother used to tell me we had the best. She told me that when I was a little girl. My mother's mother was something else. She was funny. She said, we in this family, the women in this family, I don't know. I know I'm not the only woman in the world who got some good whatever. So women all over the world have got, and obviously it's true because the way men act. If there's 5 men on top of this building right here, across from me, it's a building right here. I don't know what this building is. But if there's 5 men standing on top of this building and a woman walk past here and her pussy drop out on this ground, 5 of them gonna jump down here to get it. And they're gonna be down here on this ground like it's money, like $1 million fell from up under her dress. They'll be down here on this ground fighting for it. They don't care who dress it came from up under. They don't care if it's attached to anything else. It's pussy and free. And they didn't have to work for it. They didn't have to do nothing for it. If 2 of the men up here had a gun, or one man had a gun and he put out a gun, he told all of them, I'm gonna shoot the rest of you I'm gonna shoot the 3 of you motherfuckers if you touch this pussy. This pussy is mine. Them 3 gonna back off because they ain't got no weapon. What I'm saying is that if they will jump off of a building to risk dying for some free pussy that have fell on the ground, that lets you know that a man who wants some pussy will do what he got to do to get him some pussy. So when you women, I keep giving the pussy up for free, that makes no sense. Because if they will risk dying for it, why are you not making them work for it? If they're willing to stop taking high blood pressure medicine, diabetes medication, because they don't want to have a limp dick and they want to be able to get some pussy. If they're willing to have a heart attack and stroke and possibly die for some pussy, why would you give them some free pussy? A man wants 3 things in his life: money, food, and some pussy. Money, food, and some pussy. Them three things they like the most. Them 3 things they really willing to die for some pussy. Cause food they can get, money that can be replenished. But pussy is something that they're not willing to work for, but they're willing to die for it. I know too many men that have died because they didn't take their high blood pressure medicine, because the high blood pressure medicine was compromising them being able to perform, and they stopped taking the high blood pressure medicine and the diabetes medication, and they got their leg amputated now, and their foot amputated, and they got fingers missing, and they blind. They lost everything. They blind. They lost a foot, a finger, a toe, a kneecap, a leg, because they wanted some pussy. So we as women have already given too many men. Most of us have given men some pussy for free, and a man did not have to work for us. We don't even know what we value. We don't even know the value that we have. We don't even know what we sitting on. If you got men in your DM who don't know you, sending you bad fruit dick pics, what does it tell you? The thirst is real. Because they ain't getting no pussy. Because they have not learned how to get pussy. And if you a grown ass man and you don't know how to get no pussy, shame on you. Shame on your daddy. Shame on your uncle. Shame on your barber. Shame on the men in your life who ain't taught you how to get no pussy. And shame on the women who ain't tried to school you, to tell you, but maybe have, but because you want to be combative, but because you want to do it your way, that's why you ain't getting no pussy. How you a grown ass man and you don't know how to get pussy? You don't even know how to get no pussy from a woman, from a woman who's even willing to give it to you, and you ain't got to do nothing for it. You still can't get it. So he did not like me, and he damn for sure did not love me. But even what he liked and what he enjoyed, he still wasn't willing to do anything for it. See, you can't disrespect me in my house. You can't leave my house and disrespect me. You can disrespect me anywhere else, but not in my motherfucking house, on my territory where I pay goddamn mortgage and bills. You can't leave my house and walk out my door and say some fucked up shit to me, and I hear it on my Ring camera and think that that bullshit is okay. I don't care if I have sucked the skin off your dick. You not gonna disrespect me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you brought 10 million up in this bitch. You ain't gonna disrespect me. But all you brought is your funky ass dick, and you think you can disrespect me? You got me fucked up. So that's why we ain't talking. Because you can't disrespect me. And yeah, it hurt. It did. It hurt. It hurt my feelings. Because I did nothing to warrant that. But because he was dealing with whatever he was dealing with, in whatever mood he was in, he took the bullshit out on me. And when I told him about himself, what did he do? He blocked me. So I couldn't call him after he read the message that I sent to him. He's a sassy, bitch ass motherfucker. And I don't fuck with sassy ass men. I don't fuck with bitch ass men. I don't fuck with men who cannot communicate and say, I'm sorry. Had he read what I said, and I never cussed him out in the text, I just simply sent him the video of what he said when he was leaving my house. That was November 19th, 2024. It was on my sister's birthday. I'll never forget it. He was on his way to Punta Cana. He was leaving the next day. I sent him the clip of what was said, what I heard him say on my Ring camera, because I knew he was saying something, but I went back the next morning and played it. He never even said, normally when he would leave my house, he would call me and say, hey, I made it home. I never heard from him. That was the last time I saw him or talked to him, was November 19th of 2024. So it's been, what, 7 months, 8 months? I don't know. But I've even driven by his house since then just to see if the motherfucker just to see if he was alive. And the day that I drove past his house, I saw his car parked out in front of his house, and I said, oh, okay, well, he okay. But I haven't called him. I haven't texted him. I did text and call him when I found out I was blocked because I was upset. And I gave him some choice words, and I told him about himself, and I told him he was a bitch. I said, for a motherfucker that came from the hood, you a bitch. He got too many bitchy ways for me. And it would have been, we would have been able to but I understand now why the marriage ended. That he was only married for 2 years. I understand why all the relationships ended. I understand why he has nobody. I understand why he has so many other broken relationships, even with a family member. I understand it now, because he's the problem. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. It's him. So I know how he treated me. So with that being said, I can only imagine how he treated somebody that he had children with, how he treated somebody in his family or his wife or whatever. He's the problem. But yet he says he wants to have a marriage like his best friend. I said, well, you have to be that which you are seeking. And I said, and you are not. I said, maybe your best friend ain't like you. Maybe your best friend ain't an asshole like you. He got the type of marriage that he got because he a different type of man. I said, if that's your best friend, then why don't you model yourself after your best friend? If you got a man in your life, his father remarried, his father been married for years. Look at your daddy. Look at your daddy and see what make a relationship work. You the problem. Clearly. It ain't the women. It ain't the family member. It's you. But if he had came back and said to me, "Hey, I'm sorry. When I get back from my trip, we're gonna talk about it, or we'll talk, or whatever." But you came with the bullshit. He walked in the door. He walked in the door. He walked in the door pissed off. We didn't even get it in that night. I let him lay there. I let him sleep, whatever. And he got up. He was like, "I gotta go because I gotta get to the airport. I gotta drive my friend." Whatever he was saying. And he walked out and he had an attitude. Because see, here's the thing. I'm not that type of woman. You can't treat me fucked up and then fuck me too. You can't treat me fucked up and then fuck me too. Because everything is dry. I don't get excited for a man who abuses me. Some women get turned on by that. I don't know what kind of fucked up way that is. That ain't how my body works. When you turn me off, you turn my body off. When you turn me off mentally, you turn my body off. My body shuts the fuck down for you. I didn't tell him to leave and get the fuck out. I didn't do that. You can lay here. Obviously, you tired. Lay here. He tried to, and once he saw wasn't nothing happening, that made him even angrier. You can't treat me fucked up and fuck me too. You treat me good. You treat me great. You get the goodness. You think I'm finna give you pleasure, and you ain't treated me fucked up from the rip? Okay. I've been doing this thing a long time with dudes, and not me. Not me, player. You can try that with something. Maybe that work with other women. That don't work with me. Not with me, player. I'm not that woman. I'm not that hard up for sex. No, not me. So I know that I'm healed from him in that situation because I don't think about it. I don't care about it. I don't care about it. I don't think about it. I don't it is what it is. And that's why I didn't even mention it and think to mention it to you all about him not being there. That's why Brenda asked me. She said, "I'm not trying to be nosy, but you didn't mention it." And I did mention it because I didn't think about it. Because he's not somebody that I think about anymore. He's not somebody that I even desire anymore. I wish him the best. Whatever's going on with him, I hope he's good. I hope he's well. And what's so sad is that he and I both shared a best friend that died. And, you know, we would always talk about him, you know, and share memories and things of that nature. And I know that that friend, if he knew that he and I had gotten together, he would have been happy, you know. But I just can't get along with him, you know, and that's just the truth. I just can't get along with him. And one of the reasons why is because I won't allow him to treat me fucked up. And Brenda said, I know that he messed up with the best woman that he had. And I'm sure he realizes that he messed up a good thing. But I went off on him so bad that he probably don't know how to come back. And he might be too scared to come back because he might think that I will go off or say, you know, go off on him or whatever. But I wouldn't go off on him. I wouldn't go off on him. But I wouldn't deal with him though. You know how some people, they see you, I don't know, she weird, this girl I work with. Sometimes she speaks to me, sometimes she don't. I just, you know, with people like that, I just be like, whatever. Sometimes people, it's like they just do everything they can to avoid speaking. It don't take nothing but to say good morning. But whatever. I don't break my neck to speak to people either. Hey, it is what it is. My thing is, we all work here together. But whatever. People be, you know, I don't know what they be going through in their life. It's just weird. So, anyway, you know, I'm just gonna say this. I thank God for healing. After saying all the stuff that I said, I thank God for healing. I thank God that you don't stay in a place and a space for a very long time. That healing does come, and that sometimes when you really feel like, you know, you can think that I'm never gonna heal from this. You know, I'm so hurt, I'm so wounded. You will. You know, you will heal from it. It may look dark and it may look gloomy, as I always say. It may look like it's gonna take forever. It may seem like forever. It may seem as if, you know, healing is taking a long time. But understand this. We have a God that does heal us. We have a God that will heal us from people. We have a God that will heal us from a situation. We have a God that will heal us mentally. We have a God that will heal us mentally. We have a God that will heal us physically. We have a God that loves us so much that he will not continue to let your heart hurt forever. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to recognize when you have healed. It's a wonderful thing to recognize when it just don't hurt no more and it don't matter no more. It's a wonderful thing when you can get up in the morning and the thing and the person or the situation or the event or what you lost or what you feel that you have lost. Because you're never losing. You're always winning. Because in everything that you think you have lost, there's a lesson in it. And you got to get what the lesson is. You got to understand what it is. And once you understand that, and once you forgive yourself for your part in it, that's when the healing begins. So I have looked back over things regarding him, and I have taken responsibility for my part in it. But I know what I gave, and I know where my heart was when I was given. It was sincere. It was not for, I'm doing this for him because I want him to make me his woman. I'm doing this for him because I want him to marry me. I did it because what I felt for him in my heart. Whether it was love, whether it was I was in love, whether it was because I deeply cared for him, whatever it was, or whatever I felt, it was because it was what was in my heart. And I don't regret that part of it. You know, I don't regret that part of it. I know who I am. And I know I don't know all of my shortcomings, but I know a lot of my shortcomings. I know my personality. I know how I can be. I know that, I just know who I am. Put it to you like that. I know who I am. You know. And I thank God that I have the kind of heart that I have. I thank God that I'm who I am, and that I don't apologize for me being who I am. And I don't apologize for me loving the way that I love. I don't apologize for that at all. I thank God for allowing me to be just who I am. And I just don't apologize for it. You know, I don't apologize for it at all. And I'm okay with I can look at myself every day and know that I'm an okay individual. I can look at myself every day and know that what I do for people, that I do it because of how I feel about them. And that's that. And that there's no hidden agenda for it. I do it because I just do it. I do it because that's just how my heart is set up. And I'm just grateful to God for that. Nothing else but that. And when you know how your heart is set up, and you know who you are, and you know why you do things the way that you do things, because it's just who you are, you never have to regret anything that you do for someone or for some situation, whatever the situation is. If you know that you are the type of person that you go an extra mile at work, and you do your very best, and you a team player, and you know that you the type of employee that give 100%, when they decide to lay you off or fire you unjustly, you know who you are, and you know what you gave. And always know this: you never lose anything. You never lose any thing. You either win, you're learning, and you win. You don't lose nothing. Because I always say this, it's never my loss. It's always the other person on the other end's loss. Because when you lose me, you've lost a lot. Whether that be here on this job or in my personal life. Because I'm a damn good person. And I know that. And if you know that about yourself, that's what you go on. Regardless of what people may say or what people may do or what people may think. You got to know who you are. Well, guys, I got to go. Time to go in here and make the donuts. Time to go in here and deal with BS. Hopefully it won't be none. Lately, it's been cool. But, you know, every day is a different day here at this place. So, I never know what to expect from day to day. I just go in, I just show up, and I just do my very best. So do your very best today. Have a great day. Thank you for looking at this video. I know it was a little longer than it normally is. But have a beautiful day. Have a safe day. And I'll see you on here tomorrow. It's Throwback Thursday tomorrow. All right. Peace and blessings. Mwah. Bye.